welcome to Political Pulse. You're watching Indian Express. I'm Charulata Biswas. Aam Aadmi Party Chief and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal appealed to the government to put images of Lord Ganesha and Goddess Lakshmi on currency notes. And to talk more about this, we have with us Senior Correspondent Sourav Ry Burman joining us in this episode. Sourav, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi. So, Saurabh, you have already written an article in Political Pulse, and let me start by quoting Atishi Marlena, who talks about atheists and believers. So, shortly after Kejriwal made that statement, she also came out in defense, and she said that there are people who believe in God and there are people who don't believe in God, and we are Astik. So is Kejriwal's AAP, like you've said in your article, transitioning from a party that had once shunned ideological labels?
It appears so. So AAP is essentially a product of the India Against Corruption movement, which burst out in 2011. So around that time, the popular sentiment was against the political class. You know, the catchphrase was "Sab Neta Chor Hai." So AAP is a product of that movement. So in the initial years of the party, after it was formed in 2012,
right,
its politics revolved around corruption, this anti-Ombuds, the Jan Lokpal, how it is this panacea which will get India rid of all the evils.
Right.
Gradually, the party grew, and once it formed government in Delhi, first in 2013, then in 2015. So it adopted a solution-centric approach. So it had a solution for every civic issue or municipal issue or even schools or say health, power, water. That was the approach in the initial years. Till about, say, 2019 Lok Sabha elections, where it fared very, very badly. It lost all the 7 seats in Delhi. So after 2020, we witnessed, after 2019 general elections, we witnessed a very visible shift in the party's politics. And we can talk about that as we go ahead.
Yeah, and from the agenda of development, now they have been sort of looked as a party that's secular in nature. Of course, after making this remark, BJP has sort of lashed out. Samit Patra has talked about him refusing to go to Ayodhya. So can you tell us what exactly, led Kejriwal to make a statement like this? Is this to woo the Hindu voters in Gujarat? Or is it more than that?
Yeah, of course. In the short term, obviously, it is about Gujarat. So Aam Aadmi Party is trying to emerge as this alternative in Gujarat. They want to be, if not in power, at least to replace Congress as the principal opposition in the state. And they have been campaigning very aggressively. And they have very, cannily welded their administrative credentials with their newfound religiosity in how they practice their politics. Of course, this is a part of that theme, that larger theme. And recently we saw how AAP was put into the back foot after visuals appeared of their minister attending a mass conversion ceremony, Rajendra Pal Gautam.
Mm-hmm.
It was a ceremony where thousands of Dalits converted to Buddhism. Mm-hmm. They took the 22 vows of Ambedkar. And it became a controversy after the videos came out from that event. So AAP was obviously in the back foot. They had to sack the minister. It was evidently under the pressure of the BJP. So the latest move, this scramble, seems to be in response to whatever happened over the last 1 month. He's trying to offset the losses. Maybe he could have suffered because he was under pressure from the BJP to sack the minister.
Right.
And now, obviously, he's trying to seize the narrative once again.
Right. And this narrative that Arvind Kejriwal has now taken up, like it took a lot of people aback, and many thought it was out of sarcasm. Many thought maybe it was serious, but it eventually was a serious remark. What has been BJP's reaction to it?
I mean, in public, they have been criticizing Kejriwal's, his politics, the AAP's politics,
Right.
and how this is essentially an attempt to, I don't know, the BJP always accuses the AAP of being anti-Hindu, and how Kejriwal is trying to, undo that through his, they're calling it a gimmick in their press conferences, in their public statements.
Right.
But we have our reporter, she spoke to the BJP leaders in private, but in private they seem little, obviously they are little, and they seem a little confused on how to take him on. Because on this issue, as one AAP leader pointed out, they cannot even endorse him. They cannot even, outright reject his suggestion. So it's a tightrope they have to walk.
And interestingly, Saurav, you have also talked about in your article about AAP not raising the issue of 2002 Gujarat riots, and also not making any comments on Bilkis Bano convicts getting early release, right? So is it that, development is perhaps on the agenda? Do you see that they have sort of, gotten a little distracted from this agenda? Of course, we saw today in the morning, there was Arvind Kejriwal went to the Ghazipur landfill this morning, and Manish Sisodia joined him. So do you think they have deflected a little bit from their core agenda?
I don't think so, because his trip to Ghazipur is about the municipal polls in Delhi, which will be held later this year or maybe next year. But his Kejriwal talking about Lakshmi and Ganesha on currency notes is very much part of AAP's the how it is trying to reorient its politics, and it's not entirely surprising. And it fits into the larger trend and pattern of how they are trying to evolve and position themselves.
Right. All right, Saurav, thank you so much for all those details. For more such videos, do not forget to subscribe and like our videos. Thank you so much.